something, test.
Hello, me from here, talking about this and a bit of that. Hello everyone, Joe from Starling Cycles here. Going to do another workshop chatter, and today we're going to talk about this, which is the stainless Starling Murmur. So I've always liked the idea of stainless frames. We get a lot of people getting in touch with us saying they want raw frames, they want their frames unpainted. The Reynolds tube frames, the carbon steel frames, you have to paint them. If you don't paint them, they rust. Even if you put a lacquer on them, moisture gets behind the lacquer and they eventually rust. It's not like BMX frames. BMX frames are quite often left raw and lacquered, but they're not subjected to damp Welsh woods. They're not subjected to jet washing. They just don't take the damage and hits, and BMXers are a bit more forgiving. Mountain bikers, if they start getting rusty frames, get a bit grumpy. So stainless is the solution. We get a lovely, beautiful raw frame in lovely, shiny stainless steel. But recently, we've kind of seen the sales of these frames drop off a little bit. And I think there's been a bit of confusion. As we've released the V3 frames, I think people have got a little bit confused about, is the Murmer the latest frame? Is it a V3? So I'm just going to give a little bit of description about that. As we did with the V3 video the other day, we'll start from front to back and talk about the changes. And so this is actually a version 2 of the Murmer frame. The initial batch, we just did a really small number, and then this has been updated when these landed, I think perhaps 6 months ago. So it has the thicker head tube, the anti-flare head tube. So again, yeah, we had some issues on some of our frames with flared head tubes. This stainless Murmer has that stronger head tube. The cast main pivot part of the version 3, so the bearings have been moved into the frame. We've got this cast main pivot part, which increases the strength here, allows you to move the bearings to the outside to make the bearing seating wider, allows the bearings to last longer. All of the frames that come from Taiwan have an aluminium insert in the seat tube, so there's no risk of any galvanic corrosion of your seat post-into-seat tube. The things it hasn't got, which the new V3 frames are, it hasn't got the head tube gusset. These frames are made in Taiwan. They're not made in the UK by Starling. We haven't got the skills yet to do stainless steel. These are made by Aura. Aura are the best in the world at doing stainless frames. The welding is beautiful, the quality is amazing, you know, they are beautiful frames, so we subcontract to them for these. Aura are a little bit conservative about some things, and they've never built a frame with a plate type gusset, and because they've never done it, they don't want to do it for us. So it's got a doubler type gusset, which a lot of frames have, so it's just a different way of strengthening. I personally like the plate with the little bird details, but lots of people don't actually. We get a lot of people who don't like it, and this gives a cleaner silhouette. So it hasn't got the head tube gusset, it's just got a different solution. One of the big things it hasn't got is the adjustable shock mount. So this still has a fixed shock mount. It can only fit a 210 by 55 shocks for 140 rear travel. If you're never going to run a longer shock, if you want to run it in trail mode, if you want to run it as a trail bike, then 210 by 55 is perfect. And our last enduro frames were 140 rear travel. It's more travel than it feels, or than you think it is. It's plenty. The other thing this stainless Murmer hasn't got is the slight geometry changes we made for the V3 frame. So the bottom bracket is 4mm lower than the V3, and the seat angle is 1 degree slacker. But if you're running this as a trail bike, if you're running it with a 150 fork, say, that geometry is perfect. It's still a 77 seat angle. The bottom bracket raising and the steepening up the seat angle helps more with the enduro model bike. That's slackened out by the longer fork. So this as a trail bike, and this is the bike I've personally been riding for the past 3 years. I've been riding since we got the first samples. I've been riding a stainless Murmer with a 160 fork as my enduro bike. But you can get a little bit more travel out the V3 now. But as a trail build, this is still a fantastic bike.
Is that a Cope headset? It's a foam headset.
Right, so we've recently teamed up with Cane Creek. We've started supplying their shocks with our frames, and now we're going to start supplying forks. And thought to kind of celebrate this, we've do a bit of a limited edition with the stainless Murmur. So I'll do it on the floor. It's, At the moment, all the stainless Murmurs come with a free Hope headset and seat clamp in any colour you want. But this one has a Cane Creek inline coil rear shock for 140mm travel and a Helm fork. But this is a 150mm short offset, 44mm offset. Short offset, 44mm offset, 150mm coil travel. And to me, you know, we're making a pretty amazing bike here. 150mm coil on the front, 140mm coil on the rear. This is a pretty amazing bike. It will do most people for most things. Swap the wheels out for different purposes, lightweight wheels for trail builds, heavy wheels for an enduro build, and it will be a pretty capable bike, able to do everything. The sort of one bike for everybody. So part of celebrating this, sort of teaming up with Cane Creek, is we're going to do a mega deal on this frame, on this bike. So the frames, as I said, come with the free Hope headset and seat clamp at the moment. We are doing an upgrade to the Cane Creek inline coil shock for only £100 extra on the price of the frame. So an absolute bargain to get you a fantastic bike. And then the coil fork we're doing for just £600 upgrade. So the retail headset and seat clamp is £110. The retail of this shock with the Volt progressive spring is £550. And the retail on these forks is £1,049. So we're doing an absolute bargain deal on these. So if you're interested, go on the website, go to Stainless Murmur and all the details there, and it'll take you through to the shop, and you can buy yourself one and have one of these fantastic bikes. Only thing to note, we haven't got any mediums left. We've only got larges and extra larges. So sorry for the people who want a medium, but yeah, sorry. Thank you.